I'd like to introduce Rachael Frodyma. She has a wonderful yoga studio in Rhode Island, and we're really, really pleased and proud to have her as a yoga partner. And welcome, Rachael.
Thank you, Steve. It's an honor to be here. I hope everyone had a beautiful Thanksgiving with their family and friends. And hopefully your heart is filled with gratitude just for, being part of this community. So again, thank you, Steve, for allowing me to be part of yours. I really appreciate you. And we're going to get started. All right. So let's take a comfortable seated position. And that doesn't mean it has to be cross-legged. You can have your legs long. Just let your spine get nice and tall. We're going to tap in just to our organic breath. So take your palms down on the knees, lengthen your spine, shoulders roll back. Gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, and take a nice deep breath. Part your lips, exhale, sigh it out. 2 more times like that. Together we'll inhale and slowly exhale. 1 more time, in breath. Relaxing exhale. Take your left palm to your heart space, followed by your right, and just surrender your mind to your heart. So symbolically, we're going to take 35 minutes out of this 24-hour day to connect to our soul. So not the mind leading us, but more of the heart space. Maybe you think of an intention here that you may cultivate through the rest of your practice. And as you bring peace within yourself, maybe sending your loving energy to someone in need this evening. Notice the grounding energy underneath your yoga mat and the energy that you are responsible for this evening. So your thoughts and actions and how you move through your day. We're going to allow the palms to move upright on the knees, and then just place your index and thumb together. This is a mudra of concentration. We'll begin our first 3-part breath. Eyes are closed, spine is long. Take an inhale for the count of 3 and 2 and 1. Start at the chest. Exhale from the chest to the low ribs, back down to the low belly. 2 more times. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Release the breath for 3 and 2 and 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Take your palms down on your knees. Lean your body forward. Take a moment to move towards the left side, rounding all the way back and bringing the left shoulder forward. And we'll do that 3 times towards the left. Just moving into our low back, connecting to the area of the pelvic bowl. Come forward, take a pause and inhale, and then move the body towards the right. And let it be slow and mindful. 1 more full round. Once you come forward, we'll press the spine towards the back of the mat, grab a hold of the kneecaps, round the spine, look towards the navel. Squeeze the scapula together, rise the heart all the way up and take your arms up overhead. Draw the palms down, the elbows bend on the exhale. Firm your belly. If you're familiar with Mula Bandha, it's a closed system, so take the arms up, connect to the pelvic bowl. Exhale, pull the elbows down and stretch across the collarbones and chest. Last time here, inhale, rise. Exhale, pull the elbows down. This time, take your palms back on your knees, and we're going to start alternate nostril breathing. And this is just kind of allowing the breath to find homeostasis or balance within the mind. If you're ever feeling anxious or caught up in a moment, just take a moment to come to a seat. You're going to take your 2 peace fingers and place them in the middle of your brow. The index and the pinky will cover one nostril, and the thumb will cover the opposite. We're going to move the breath from one nostril to the other, starting with the left. The left side is the area of the moon. So this is more of the softer side energy. And the right side, if you were trying to gain energy, you would start with the right, and that's the side of the sun. Let's begin. Take the 2 peace fingers to the midline of the forehead. We're going to block off the right nostril, and we're going to breathe into the left. Close both nostrils off. Exhale out through the right. Inhale right. Close the nostril. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold and close. Exhale right. Let your spine be long. Inhale right. Hold and close. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold and close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Smooth close. Exhale left. One more round. Inhale left. Hold and close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold and close. Exhale left. Let both palms come down and let the air, the prana, move through both of your nostrils on the inhale. Sigh out from the back of your throat. Part your lips. Exhale. Ha. Seal your lips. Take an inhale in through your nose, starting Ujjayi breath, ocean breath. There's a slight restriction at the back of the throat. Keep the mouth closed and breathe through the nose. So everyone always thinks of like a ha sound, but coming from the back of the throat. We'll do that one more time, and this will be our breath throughout the rest of our practice. It's called ocean breath. Nice deep inhale. Slight restriction at the back of the throat to exhale through the nose. This time on our in-breath, take our arms up and over our head. Bring our palms back to the sternum, the center of our body. Inhale, rise the arms up overhead. Separate the palms on the exhale, fingertips down, shoulder blades back. Lift your right arm up and over your head on the inhale. Circle it down in front of you on the exhale. Right palm will connect, left palm will swing high. This is our in-breath, left bicep by the ear. Release the breath and come forward. Right arm lifts high, in-breath. Exhale, come forward, out breath. So notice that we're linking breath to movement, right? One more time each side. Beautiful breath in, nice and slow, releasing small of the back, especially if you've been traveling, right? On the exhale, bring the right palm down. Now the right palm will stay down, left bicep up. Bend through your left elbow, circle it back. We're going to do 2 more like that, just circling through the shoulder, across the chest. Take your left bicep up over your ear, a nice deep breath. Drop your left palm towards your right knee. We're going to take our right palm back behind us, gaze back towards the right shoulder to take a twist. Lengthen through your spine, send your heart forward. And in yoga, we twist to the right to help the digestive tract. So just keep that in mind as you begin to practice. One more deep inhale, connect to the ocean breath. Look forward on the exhale. Take your back right arm and crisscross your forward left forearm. Take both palms to the shoulders. Lift the elbows on the inhale. Bend the elbows and the spine on the exhale. Come all the way down to separate your shoulder blades. 2 more times. Inhale, rise from the belly. Exhale, elbows to the navel. Last time here. Inhale, look up. And then let that take the firmness of your belly as you exhale. Elbows come up to separate. Pull the elbows apart. Look up, chin high. Tuck your tail, round your spine. Simultaneously take your palms together. Invert your palms all the way up on the in-breath, firming the spine and the low belly on the out-breath. Let go of the fingertips all the way down. Rise your right arm, left palm to the earth. Bend the elbow back and around for 3. And for 2. Nice job, you guys. Last one here. Right bicep comes over the ear on the inhale. Come up halfway. Take the right palm to your left knee and you will swivel the left palm behind us. The left thumbnail, if it can, allow it to align with your spine. Lengthen your spine, then twist towards the left shoulder. And then just a body scan. Where can you relax? The jaw, the space between the brows, the temples. Notice if you're breathing into the low belly using your diaphragm. Together we'll inhale, and as we exhale, bringing the chin over the right shoulder, elevating the left palm up and over to cross the forearm, taking the palms all the way to the shoulders. Lift the elbows, inhale, bow down, a moment of surrender, exhale. 2 more times, really nice. See if you could stay present within your breath. Navel draws in, shoulders protract. Last time here, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Keep your breath moving. Elbows come, shoulder width distance. Take the arms all the way out. Rise your arms up. Take your palms by your hips. Exhale, lengthen out your legs. So we're going to start with little circles through our ankles. So take your palms back by your hips. Take your big toes inward and then just rotate through the ankles. Give that little connection to the connective tissue in our body that starts at our heel all the way up to the back of our head, right? So just kind of moving everything, preparing for our standing postures. Go ahead and slide your heels all the way up and we're going to come to tabletop. So if you're on a cushion, just take the cushion off to the top, or if you're on a block. And then we're going to bring wrist, elbow, shoulders stack, knees are underneath the hips. Drop your belly for cow pose. Sink your hips back for child pose. Drop your forehead all the way down to the mat and reconnect to your ocean breath. Together we'll inhale, rising into our cat posture. Look towards your navel. Let your belly float towards the mat. Send your hips back to your heels on the exhalation. 4 more times like that. So let it be slow, undulating the spine. Inhale, rise. Belly low, hips to the heels. Exhale it out. Breathe in. A soft whisper from the back of the throat as you breathe out. 2 more times. Inhale, round, and imagine the heart space reaching towards the sky. And then feeling that grounding effect, that security as you sit back to your heels. Last time together as we round all the way up. Nice deep breath. Belly low, hips to the heels on the exhale. Come back to your tabletop, so neutralize your spine. We're going to tuck our toes, let the belly come to cow pose. Moving into downward facing dog, lift the knees, send the hips back. Send your gaze towards your shin bones, and then the tops of our thighs are going to turn inward towards the midline of the mat. This will help you align the heels behind the second and third toe. Begin to pedal the legs. So if you can see the inner heel of the back of your foot, just take the tops of your legs and internally rotate. 2 breaths. Looking back, pressing down through index and thumb, firming the shoulder blades. Steady your feet to stillness. Bend your knees generously. Walk your palms back to your toes. And we're going to take opposite elbows. This is called ragdoll. Let the weight move to the balls of the feet. The chin pulls in. 5 breaths to sway the hips side to side like a pendulum. Just noticing the breath and this connection to our physical seat. And an opportunity to check in. How are you emotionally today? To knowing that there are 5 bodies that we connect to. Our emotional body, our physical body, our breath body, our wisdom body, and the body we call bliss, when everything is in harmony. Drop your fingertips low, bend your knees. Remember you're multidimensional, right? So as you press up, just notice earth is holding you, but the prana, the air, the breath is lifting you high. Roll your shoulders back, take your shoulders over your hips, palms face out. Lift your arms above the crown of your head on the inhale. Bring your palms to your heart center on the exhale. Take a walking meditation on your yoga mat to the top of the mat. We will start our sun salutations. Let your two big toes touch, spread your feet wide. Together, bend your knees, take your arms up and overhead. This is our in-breath. Hinge at the hips. On the out-breath, take the fold. Lengthen your spine on the inhale, halfway up, fingertips to shin bones, lengthen. On the exhale, palms to the earth. Step back to your plank position. For some of us, we're going to drop our knees. For some of us, you're going to stay in plank and come to low plank. If you dropped your knees, drop your hips, come all the way up to your cobra. And if you went from chaturanga, you'll be in upward facing dog. Send your hips back to downward facing dog, tucking the toes, sending the hips up and the crown down. Try to relax through your jaw and your tongue. Breathing in here for 5, pedaling the feet for 4, grounding down through index and thumb. Last 2 breaths. The navel draws into the front of the spine. Look up towards the top of the mat. Walk, step, or hop. When the feet come up towards the hands, fingertips to the shin bones, this is our inhale. Hinge at the hips, exhale. Bend the knees, float the arms all the way up. Firm your glutes when you're coming up to protect your low back. Gaze is high. Palms come to your heart center. Second round. The knees bend, the arms lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins. Palms to the earth. Exhale. Step back to your plank position. Lower your knees or move through chaturanga. Send your heart through the gateway of the arms on the in-breath. And then welcome your body back to downward facing dog on the out-breath. Take 5 breaths here. For those of you who need a moment in child's pose, know that this is a perfect time in your practice to come to the knees and sit back on your heels. Remember, the breath is always communicating to us. So it's our measurement, right? If the breath becomes choppy, then we need to take child's. And if it's not, just keep pedaling the feet and welcoming energy into the body. Together, we'll exhale out all the breath. If you came to your knees, come to downward dog. Walk, step, or jump towards the top of the mat. Your feet will meet your hands. Take an inhale, a halfway rise. Together, we'll fold. Bend the knees, rise to stand. Glutes firm again. Lift up, look up. Bring your palms to your heart and then drive your chin down. Remember, we surrendered the mind to the heart place. We'll call this the heart mind, Sitta. Bend your knees. We're moving into chair pose. The knees bend all the way to your heels. Lift all 10 of your toes. Send your palms back aerodynamically and firm your low belly. Look towards your toes. Make sure you can see the big toes touching and then rise up, saying a nice deep breath. If you're working on strengthening your spine, I want you to tuck your tail under. And if you're working on opening up the chest, take your tail into your cat-like spine. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, fold the body down. Step your feet back to your plank position, right foot followed by the left. The knees can tap, the elbows can bend. Heart lifts up on the inhale. Hips move back on the exhale. Big toes touch, right leg rises, inhale. Step your right foot to runner's lunge, top of the mat, and take a pause. Lower your left heel down. Take your palms back aerodynamically and rise to warrior 1. Bend your right knee. Take your right palm down to your right hip and your left palm forward. I want you to feel the left hip moving forward. Squeeze into your right glute and your left. So use the power of your glute. Both palms come forward, rise your arms. Breathing in here for 4 and 3, 2. You can look up if it feels healthy to your neck. On the exhale, both palms come down. Your right foot comes back to meet the left. The knees can tap, the elbows can bend. Rise up, inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So I want you to remember, if it gets too much where you move through your vinyasa, which is when you come to your low plank or your high plank, you can just move into down dog and skip that altogether. Rise your left leg. Step your left foot forward. Lower your right heel down. Firm your low belly. Take your palms back. Roll your shoulders back. On the in-breath, come up to stand. Bend into your left knee, firm your glutes. Take your right palm to your right hip, left palm to left. Now reach your right arm forward, squeeze here and feel the right hip moving. Ground down through your back pinky. Left palm comes up, we rise. Sink. Gaze is high if it feels okay. We have 2 more breaths. Connect to that ocean breath, firm the belly. On the exhale, palms come down. Your left foot meets your right. This is where you can skip your vinyasa coming into down dog, or you're here high plank and low plank. Knees can tap, or you're moving into cobra or upward facing. Really nice job. Together, we'll move back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. Hike your hips. Look towards the top of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale. On the full exhale, feet to your hands. Nice deep breath in, halfway up. Exhale, fold the body. Bend the knees, come back into your chair pose. Try to wrap your pinkies in, tuck your tail down, and sit low in your seat. Guys, look great. Come to your mountain pose. And mountain pose is just Tadasana, right? So we're just here. Roll the shoulders back. Imagine the pelvic floor lifting as if you're holding in your urine. And that just gives that energy of the breath to move upward towards the heart. We're going to move through that one more time. You guys ready? Take your big toes to touch, all the way to your heels. Bend your knees, swipe your palms back. Smile through your eyes. Take an inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, you're doing great. Palms to the earth. Step back, high plank, low plank. Inhale, cobra. Downward dog. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise your right leg, step it forward. Drop your left heel, rise to warrior 1. Ground down through your right knee, hold for 5. Keep your breath moving. Maybe you bring your index and thumb together and you take a moment here, or point your finger up for Kali Mudra. Last 2 breaths, squeeze that back left glute. Look high, relax your jaw. On the breath out, gaze forward. Separate your palms, come all the way down. Invite right foot to meet the left. Downward dog or vinyasa. And the word vinyasa means to place in a special way. Left leg high. Exhale, left foot forward. Right heel down, warrior 1. Remember to firm your glutes. Notice your knee. So if your knee is moving inward, I want you to bring it outward. That happens a lot when we first start practicing. Maybe you interlace the fingers here. The gaze can come high. You're squeezing into your back right glute and the heel is down. Last 2 breaths. You guys look great. Focus here, navel in. Breath is steady. Look forward on the exhale, palms down. Left foot meets the right. Notice your breath as you descend. Take what you need on the inhale. Let it fuel you. On the exhale, let it comfort you and release. Pedal it out for 4 more breaths. And 3. Last 2. On the breath out, hike the hips, walk, step, or jump to the top of the mat. When the feet come to the top, bend the knees back to chair pose. Arms lift, tailbone tucks, or tailbone lifts, and you can open up your elbows here. So this would be if you were working back bends. This would be if you were working your handstands, right? Come all the way up to stand. Palms at your heart. Good job, you guys. We're coming to our seat. So take the legs apart, come all the way down. If you have a block that you'd like to sit on, you can take the block. We're going to bring our right knee in. So left foot to the left inner arch. Take your left palm down and reach your right arm overhead. Nice deep breath. Rise up halfway on the inhale. Cascade your right palm towards the foot, the shin, or the quad. Whatever it is that feels comfortable in your body. Because remember, yoga is progress, not perfection. Left palm meets the right. And as you fold, notice your breath. We're targeting the outer right hip here and the low back. So it's an asymmetrical fold. Take 3 more breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Soften your jaw, your tongue. Pay attention to your physical body. One more breath here. Walk fingertips up the left shin. Take your right palm behind you. Point your left toes down. We're going to elevate. So we're moving onto this right knee, and we're going to take that gate pose, spinning the left shoulder around. For 3, 2, and 1. Sitting bones come back down. Elevate your left toes. So nice. Bring the left foot in. Send the right leg out. Okay, right palm down. Nice smile on your face. Rise up, other side. Navel in toward the spine. Send the sternum towards the thigh. And then that right palm meets the left. And you take the fold. The gaze is toward the shin line. Belly pulls up and in, and pay attention to your low back. Just be a witness to this process. And just take a moment to notice when the room gets quiet, where is your energy body, your thoughts moving to? Palms move to the right shin line. Left palm moves back, right toes point, and we lift the pelvic bowl. The left knee takes the weight, and the left palm as we circle the right shoulder. Relax your sitting bones back onto the mat. Take both palms behind you. Lengthen both of your legs. So it's going to be at the top of your mat. Swipe your arms high, bend your knees. Take a seated forward fold, so hinging at the hips, gaze is down. If you want to firm your upper legs, your quadriceps, and lengthen out and bring the chin down and the shoulders back, this is a yang-like posture. It's more physical. If you want something softer, bend the knees, let the belly drop, and drop the head. This is a softer posture and typically in yin. 2 more breaths. They target different areas of the body in the back body. Palms to your shins, shoulders over the hips. Palms down by the hips, hips to the heels. Roll to your spine. Take your thighs into your belly. Rotate your ankles to the right. Rotate your ankles to the left. Nice. Separate your knees. Take your 2-piece fingers either around the big toes or the backs of the knees. And you're just going to come rocking side to side. Draw your chin in. Because our time is so short together, we're just moving into happy baby. We just take a moment, find a center and find stillness. Drop your heels. Roll your forehead up to your knees. Give yourself a squeeze. Tap your feet down. Let the soles of your feet come together and your knees come out. Now, if this is too much, you can use your fists as little blocks here underneath your thighs. Shoulders roll back. We'll end our class just with a moment of breath. Take an inhale for 3, and 2, and 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. If it feels good to you, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Nice deep breath for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Stamp your feet on the earth. Take your arms up and overhead. Take a nice deep breath here. Pull your thighs into your belly. Rock and roll all the way up. I'm not going to bring you into Shavasana, our resting posture, because you're going to have movement with live music with Steven. So let's just take a moment to close with meditation. Palms down on the knees, lengthen your spine. Bring your chin in, So lengthen out the back body. Shoulders roll back. Left palm to the heart, right palm to the belly. And just tap into the conversation you have on a daily basis. Because where our mind goes, our energy flows. Be your own best friend. Learn to cultivate gratitude each and every day to fill your heart and serve others. Know you're exactly where you need to be this evening and have trust in this process. Take a body scan on your next inhale from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. Find your strength. And then quietly and softly release all tension from the crown of the head, through the temples, the jaw, the shoulders, the back, the front of the heart, down into the belly and into the legs. Accept what is. Take your palms to prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. And like we started our class this evening, it comes full circle. We'll bow our chin to our chest, symbolically offering this moment of surrender from mind to heart, coming into this place of openness and acceptance. As we bow to one another, thumbs to the third eye, the area of wisdom, and just taking a moment to honor each other's hearts, the light within our hearts, to know that the light above us is also the light within us. Namaste, my friends. It's been a great honor to be with you this evening. And I'm sure you're going to have a beautiful class with Steven and his offering of live music. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart for allowing me into your homes this evening. And Steve, thank you for letting me be part of this process. It's been so wonderful. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say this was great. Thank you very much, Rachael. This was the third of a 3-part beginners yoga, 3 evenings. And
So
Rachael, it's a pleasure having you here. The recordings, we will be having recordings available of the 3 as a set. And it's also available in the WisdomFeed Plus membership. And Rachael, how can people find you?
I'm out of Nanaquacket Yoga Studio. So it's a little, we live next to a pond called Nanaquacket Pond, and that's kind of where I got the studio name. But think of your Nana. So it's Nana and then Quaket. There's not many yoga studios in Tiverton. So if you look up yoga at Tiverton, Rhode Island, I'll probably pop up.
Awesome. Okay. Steve should be back in a couple of minutes. In the meantime,
I'll be open to questions if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, we have a couple minutes. If anyone wants to turn on their camera or unmute themselves, we have a couple minutes.
Just wanted to say thank you, Rachael. That was wonderful.
Oh, thank you, Maria. It was so nice to see you tonight.
Same here.
I
It's
really
so nice
do.
at the end of this crazy holiday weekend.
Yes, isn't that the truth? It's so true. It's amazing, though, if you just take, that was a quick class, 30 minutes out of a 24-hour day, just to move back to where you're supposed to be, right?
Absolutely.
Just in this harmonious state of being, really living.
And it really reminds you to take that pause. That it's like you said, I love that you said, out of your 24-hour day.
Yeah.
Because we make it like it's such a, big deal to do these things, and it's not.
No, it should be at the top of our list, but
right.
Life gets busy and we all do it. We all tend to deplete ourselves, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
But if we were our own best friends, and I talk about this a lot in my classes, that if we took the advice we would give to another, it would be fill your bucket first, so you can give to others in a place of love, right? Absolutely. And so if you're depleted, you just can't do that.
Right. And this is the time of year where that happens.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. We say yes to everything.
Right.
Anybody else have any questions about just anyone new to yoga here? Maybe this is their first class, or any questions about the breathing techniques that we did. The 3-part series was progressive. So we first learned 3-part breath, which is called Durga Pranayama. And then we moved into Ujjayi breath, we call ocean breath. And then the alternate nostril breathing can be done various ways too. But that's a really good one to start with, just to balance off the hemispheres of the mind.
Rachael, are you teaching in person in Tiverton or online or
Yes.
both?
I teach in person. I do private Zooms online, but I used to stream my classes, and it's just, I can't give attention to both. It's just not fair to the people online.
Yeah, I love Tiverton. So.
Oh, are you familiar with Tiverton? Or?
I am. I lived in Boston for 10 years, and my best friend lives in Rachael, Rhode Island.
So nice.
Rhode Island is one of the few places during COVID that I went and stayed and visited friends, and I'll be back in spring or summer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, come see me.
I will, now that I know where you're at.
Yeah, it was great to have you.
Yeah.
And also proud and excited that Rachael and her studio is it's the beginning of, she's kind of our yoga partner, WisdomFeed Plus. And so these recordings will be in the membership. And I'm trusting that Steven Pague will be on with us in a second. He was on before. And anything else for Rachael? Because I could talk about WisdomFeed for a second, or Rachael, you could hang out, or take off.
Well, I'll say bye to everyone for now, but thank you very much again for having me. And thank you, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful holiday season. I'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.
Thanks so much, Rachael.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So Steven Pague, I trust, will be back in a second, as we scheduled previously. In the meantime, I want to put a link in the chat and let you know that we've been working hard with WisdomFeed Plus. We recently rebuilt the membership from scratch, and we have probably 10 or 20 hours of meditation and yoga and Qigong, and great classes, contributors from John Kabat-Zinn to Richard Miller, the founder of iRest, and Rod Stryker, and all kinds of really, really great people, and a lot of up and coming voices. And I just want to share one thing that Jody Barrett, she runs our monthly kind of group, not a coaching call, but our group calls. And she's a therapist and an MBSR teacher. She explained WisdomFeed Plus in a way that kind of resonated to me. She said she got into wellness and mindfulness like 10 years ago. She was, I think, in the corporate world. And she said, and she said that when she got into all this wellness stuff 10 years ago, she had to look at Louise Hay and all these different places. But now with WisdomFeed Plus, I've been doing this for decades. And, part of what we're trying to do is take ancient ideas and bring them down to street level. Take these ancient ideas and make it practical, what's practical. And I hope you enjoyed Rachael. She was great. And so that's kind of what WisdomFeed does. I'm kind of like the curator in chief and hosting a lot of the events. And Steven just texted me his computer. He had a computer issue. He'll be back. He'll be on again in a minute. So we are running a special. There's a jumping in on the whole commercialization of everything. And yes, we are offering for the first time a 40% discount through Tuesday night on the annual membership. So if you click on that link, you can get all the details and all the great stuff you get. And what else? So I also would say that part of what we're trying to do is find things that are practical, that actually can affect and improve your life. And I tell, while we're waiting for Steve, I'll tell a quick personal story. Last year, towards the end of COVID, I was had to get cataract surgery. It's a whole story how we led to that. But when I was going in for the surgery, they said they couldn't put me under because my heart was racing. They asked me if I was nervous. And I was a little nervous. And they said, well, we can't proceed. I said, give me a minute. So I'm not a super meditator, but I've been doing it for years. So I went into a meditative pose, and in less than 90 seconds, I kind of dropped into just my meditation. And I'm not a super monk or anything like that, but just dropped into my meditation, and they checked my pulse in less than 90 seconds later, and I was good. I was my pulse had normalized, and they were able to proceed. So, when I try to make things kind of accessible for like my friends in Brooklyn, so they, just normal people who haven't been to ashrams, and, there's no side effects from breathing or, and so that's just a little story how mindfulness can be, can be practical. And here we have Elixir Fee. I'm going to rename you there. Welcome, Steven Pague.
You're going to rename me?
I'm going to rename you.
Okay, good.
You.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. My computer, while I was, I had my alarm set. When I came up here, my computer had, for some reason, it's on a new jag of running out of battery real fast. So I had to plug it in. And then, of course, Steve, I had to sign back in and all that sign-in process, which took me a while. So,
all right. Well, it gave me some time to share a story or two, and
but carry on if you need to. I'm good.
Yeah. So after Steven, he's going to do a little bit of music and some Qigong, and I'm going to hang out afterwards. I'd love to. There are some familiar faces and some names I don't recognize. So when Steven's done, we can keep chatting. This is a big experiment just to see if people would show up, and a good amount of people are here, and we had a bunch of people sign up. But I just thought it was kind of an experiment that Steven and Rachael were gracious enough to go along with it, just because I know between the elections and holidays, I thought maybe it would be a good time to just settle in a little. So I know for me, that was the third yoga class, and I haven't done yoga in a long time, but I've been hosting the 3 yoga classes. So I'm feeling a little better now that we've done the three classes. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Steven Michael Pague, and he's old friend, collaborator, and he was on the founding staff of Omega, and he's an amazing musician. My family, we love to go see him play live, so we get a little bit of him live here. And then he's a Qigong teacher, and we have he's been a regular Qigong partner with WisdomFeed Plus, and that's all I have to say. Welcome, Steven.
Thank you, Steve. Sorry about the glitches there and the changes in the beginning and all that. But anyway, I'm here, and I just wanted to say, thanks for your patience. But I know you had a nice class. I was hearing part of it. Then the sound went out, and I didn't realize that it was my computer going out. So I came up and found that out to be. So I would say, I wanted to say this. I was thinking about, there are a lot of aspects to Qigong and yoga and so many of the techniques in the realm of wellness, and so many various ways to work on and becoming stronger, becoming well, maintaining our wellness, and all these different things. One of the things I've been focusing or mentioning in my classes lately is that it's it takes, and this is true for musicians, it's true for skill-based things and whatever it might be, that requires focus and attention to do, and perhaps some craftsmen, yoga practitioners, Qigong practitioners, meditation practitioners, and all this. If we, when we practice, now every practice is not a great practice with meditation, with yoga, and with Qigong, etc. But when we practice, and when we practice regularly, generally we feel good. And we feel good, and we may notice the state of our wellness as we move along in practice. We may be in it and not see it. Others from the outside may see it. When we do notice, the big difference is when we don't practice, when we fall off the horse for a while, when we, sometimes as a musician, if you don't play your instrument with some regularity, you lose your connection and maybe, with your hands, your abilities to do things. And so with yoga, you're not perhaps as flexible as you were the last, over time. Or with Qigong, you might feel a little out of it because you haven't practiced in a little while. Even a couple of days sometimes, or if it's longer, you really do notice, and perhaps health suffers from that, or the guitar player's ability to play suffers. There is another aspect to that which I'd like to bring up, which is that when we back away from our practice, for whatever the reason is, maybe we aren't feeling well enough to practice. Maybe we got so busy that we can't practice. Sometimes that'll happen. And I found as a guitar player, as a musician, that those times, yes, are going to show up in my... They're going to show up in my... like I said, they're going to show up in a way that shows me that, I haven't practiced in a while. I'm not quite feeling right. Oh, that's because I am not practicing. Well, the other aspect of that is when you don't practice for all those reasons that were not because you were distracted, not because you were not showing up, but because you couldn't show up, or for various reasons. Sometimes when you do practice next, it's uber precious and very special. So like there have been times in my life when I was, for various reasons, kind of, there were restrictions put on my playing or whatever. And when I picked up my guitar after say whatever chunk of time it is and played, it was like, oh my God, the sound is so good. It's so beautiful. Or, when I'm doing my yoga asanas or my positions and practices in Qigong, I feel like really there's another kind of connection that opens up. So there are all kinds of levels of that. I just wanted to bring that up before we start. And rather than doing Qigong, I would like us to, there's a thing of doing Qigong, doing yoga, but being in your a state that is a yogic state or a Qigong state is the ultimate goal of these kinds of practices. Meditation, is there, do we have to keep on always meditating? Do we reach a place where we are in a meditative state? Do we keep on practicing certain kinds of yoga, perhaps, and Qigong, or perhaps we, along the way, continuing practice or not, we develop something that in Qigong is called the Qigong state. And that's a state of being where we're in the Qi. Qi, what is it? Like prana. Hard to describe, but it's life force. In Qigong, we describe it as life force or vital life force. So this vital life force is when we achieve a Qigong state, be it during, after practice, as a result of practicing for years and years, sometimes even after, even a day, a moment of practice, this can open up. Then we are in that place where we recognize, and this is one of our meditation practices in Qigong, where we say to ourselves, we affirm this, something like this, I am in Qi, and Qi is in me. I am in Qi, and Qi is in me. Like the drop, like if we were a drop of water and we dropped into the ocean, would we be that drop of water, or would we become the ocean or part of the ocean? So something like that. I'm just playing with the idea. So while I sing some songs tonight, let's practice this state of being that we can achieve through stillness and meditation, and sometimes listening to poetry or a great teacher of whatever type, just speaking. Sometimes we're just transformed into a state. So I'm not saying I'm going to transform you into a state that's amazing as I do these songs, but I just wanted to bring them to you. And while I'm practicing, just like you did with your yoga, just maintain awareness of your breath. Mostly breathe into your belly, into your lower back, inhaling and exhaling, relaxed ways, and, keep your eyes open or eyes closed, whatever you feel like, okay? So this song here, that's one of my songs, is called A Promise Made. And it says this. I'm hoping this guitar comes through okay. We didn't really do a sound check. I'm giving thanks for another day. I'm giving thanks for everything. In the arc of a promise, the colors are so strong. In the arc of the rainbow, the word has stood so long. There is no question we need to remember. Try to make this connection now. We can make it right now. Some of us will fly this way and some will drive away that. All of us want to get somewhere. All of us are trying to get back. Colors of a promise made, comes sunlight through the rain. Give thanks for the promise, give thanks for the rain. Colors of a promise made, sunlight through the rain. Give thanks for the promise, for the sunshine and the rain. The sunshine and the rain. The sunshine and the rain. promise made. Colors of a promise made. Okay. I wanted to give a couple songs specifically, that, of course, coming from gratitude, the realm of gratitude, and we know how important that is. I was writing something today in a letter to my mailing list that's talked about the ancient practices of giving back. The only way that human beings knew how to do, they figured out there were things like sacrifice and all these things, but human beings, especially indigenous people, figured out that the best way they could give back was to say thank you. And saying thank you is huge. And we know, and science, lagging behind these ancient technologies, is now proving that gratitude is good for us. It's healthy for us. So that song was about giving thanks. So slight tuning adjustment here. This song is called The Well. I don't want to try to tell you what a song means or what I meant by it. I want you to just enjoy it. And as you breathe deeply, as in yoga, maintain a good posture, an erect posture. You could be standing if you like. You could be seated. You could be lying down. Just breathe deep, relaxed breaths. Lengthen, aim your crown, or feel as if your crown is being drawn upward and your tailbone settling down, so your spine is open and soft. To your home, stand by the well and remember the ones who were there before you. What were their names? What was the reason that pulled them through? Now, here in our hands, we hold a key that could lock it away. It could open the door. What will we choose? How will we use it, and now what for? Through my investigation, I try to find what is real in problems and situations. I try to stay in touch with what I feel. Among the stars, standing with trees that now gently sway as they dance in the wind. Out over the sea, the pathway of moonlight leads me on. I drink deep once again, think of that fountain that flows and the waters that move underground. River of life, winding its way round another try to find what is real. Through problems and situations, I strive to stay in touch with what I feel. So go back to your home, stand by the well and remember the ones that were born before you. What were their names? What was the reason that pulled them through? Okay. Hey, thank you for hanging out with me here. I'm going to do one more song, and then I'm going to call it. So, maintaining a sense of your Qigong state, your yogic state, your conscious, your awake state is the ideal. You know, it's the practice that we're doing, these practices that we do that help us to hone, you know, the sharp edge of the sword, the tool, the keep the tool oiled, keep the body oiled. Qigong and yoga are really lubricating the joints, lubricating and enhancing the capability of the fascia, the system of fascia, which now is getting great recognition in the realm of science. Once again, the Chinese have been talking about this for years. They call it tendons and sinew, but this has, according to science now, has some sense of conscious awareness, like we have just found out in recent times that the gut is really, and the heart is saying more to the brain than the brain is saying to the heart. The gut is telling us what to do more than we ever knew. So these wonderful discoveries are happening. All right, so let me just look here and see what my third song is going to be. Sorry. Not sorry. I'm not sorry. Are you sorry? No. Don't be sorry. Be thankful.
Steve, this has been great. I'm loving this. I think some of these, maybe one of the songs I've heard before, I'm hearing them in my Qigong listening, hearing them new, but it sounds great. So I really appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone is enjoying it.
Thank you.
So thanks.
Shall I do one more?
Sure.
Good. So this one is called What for the World. Some of these songs are newer, some of them are older. You've never heard them before, so new to you. Days and nights and days go by. Oh, watch them slip away. Sometimes it makes me wonder why I missed another day. Oh, my baby, what for the world can we do if it all gets so crazy? Got to pull it through. A broken heart can make the bell ring. Deep feelings of our lives, of all these treasures I will sing through the pain and strife. Oh, my baby, what for the world can we do if it all gets so crazy? Got to pull it through. Oh, oh, oh. hands down and give this world our smile. When we need so much protection, how can we all survive? Oh, my family, what for the world can we do to help each other see? Shine the way on through. Shine the way on through. Yeah. Shine the way on through. Oh yeah. What more can we do than to shine a little love on through that deepest, darkest night? I know this world needs your light. What more can we do than to shine a little love on through that deepest, darkest night? This world needs your light. This world needs your light. Yeah. This world needs your light. This world needs your light. Shine the way on through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine the way on through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine the way on through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine the way on through. Okay, well, that's my part. And I hope it was all right with you. I felt like you did a physical practice, and kind of nice to just open up and listen. I hope it was suitable. And
it was time out. It was a lot more than suitable. Steve, you just blessed me. I hope other people appreciated it, and feel free to, to chime in or.
That was beautiful, Steven. Thank you so much. Loved it.
You're welcome. Let's do something else together.
Sounds good. Steve, how can people find you? And I think you have to get going. I really appreciate you.
All right, I do have to get going. So we have waterfallqigong.com is my website. Just like it sounds, except Qigong is spelled Qigong, Qigong, Qigong. That's the weird phonetic Chinese thing. But anyway, waterfallqigong.com. That's the way to find me and see what I'm doing on Zoom and various other things. Okay.
Sounds great. So thanks so much, Steve. I'm going to hang out for a little while. I think Steven's going to get going. And thanks so much, Steve. That was great. I'll speak to you soon.
Peace and love, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays continuing on through the year.